Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Hope yours is going well so far. It's time for another edition of Pass Coverage Thursday, except it's a Wednesday. So we're bumping things up, like I said, because we want to get these videos out before the Thursday night football game. So we're going to be doing coverage Thursday on a Wednesday. And our Pass Rush Friday video will be coming later today as well, so keep an eye out for that. And next week, back to your regularly scheduled content as it is to be expected. So, Pass Coverage Thursday, again on a Wednesday. We're going to take a look at each individual player on the Seahawks defense and see how they're faring in coverage individually. How often are they getting targeted? How many completions are they giving up? And are they giving up plays of significance when asked to perform coverage duties? So, we start with the linebackers as we always do. And this week was not too bad for the linebackers. Bobby Wagner was targeted 6 times to get his season total up to 29, which is a lot. But 22 completions, so he allowed 4 completions against the Niners. A lot. 76% completion. Not great, but not terrible. But only 176 yards. So he allowed, I think, 35 yards in coverage against the 49ers, which that's not great for a middle linebacker, but it's workable. And here's how I look at it. The opposing quarterbacks that we have played so far this year have targeted Bobby Wagner in coverage 29 times, and they've gained a grand total of 176 yards on those 29 plays. That's fine. That's completely workable. That's completely below your expected average when dropping back to pass as a quarterback, I think. So I can live with that. Still 0 touchdowns allowed, 90.6 QB rating. It's all pretty good there. Now we have Jordan Brooks, and he's kind of getting beat up right now. I think he got beat up a little bit in coverage against the Vikings, so he needed a bounce back game. And one thing that allowed him to bounce back in this game was that he didn't play on passing downs as much. We played Ryan Neal. So he got targeted 3 times. He allowed, let's take a look here, 2 completions. So his completion percentage allowed fell a little bit. And he allowed 20 yards on 2 completions. So better. Still at 2 touchdowns. QB rating allowed 122. Taylor, not targeted yet this season. Barton did not get targeted because he didn't play on defense. Same for Ballore. And that's it for your linebackers. All right, now we go to cornerbacks. And I know this is the one that people are really interested in. So brace yourselves. Brace yourselves because what you're about to see may shock you. But before we get into that, I want to talk about DJ Reed a little bit because he did not look very good in the first 3 games of the season. And this 49ers game allowed him to go to the other side of the field where he's most comfortable. And what were the results? Let's see. DJ Reed got targeted 3 times against the Niners and allowed, let's check it, 1 completion. 1 completion. And that 1 completion went for 8 yards. So 3 targets, 1 completion, 8 yards. Okay, now you're talking my language. Granted, some of that is because Sidney Jones was getting picked on. Some of it was just because we were playing bad quarterbacks. I understand that, but that is a huge improvement, and that is something that maybe can turn this defense around a little bit. I don't think Sidney Jones can, but maybe the domino effect of moving DJ Reed to where he's more comfortable can. So that's really strong. Trey Flowers got no snaps on defense, so his numbers did not change from last week. Now we get to Sidney Jones, and he was targeted 10 times, gave up 8 completions, and 121 yards. And he got credited for giving up 1 touchdown in coverage. I think it was actually probably 2 because both passing touchdowns by the Niners seemed to be on him. But I think he was so far away from Debo on that second touchdown that they gave it to Jamal instead. So, keep that in mind. His QB rating allowed is 150.4. So the good news is he outplayed Richard Sherman because Richard Sherman got targeted 10 times and allowed 10 completions, I think. But yeah, don't tell me this guy played great against the Niners. The numbers simply don't back it up. Even if you take out the broken play, the 76-yard Debo touchdown, it's still not a very good day. It's workable, maybe, but it's still, he's getting picked on. And until I see him either not get picked on or get picked on and do something about it, I'm going to put away the anointing oil. So yeah, 121 yards by one cornerback allowed in one game. I'm not. He can get better. He has time. I'm going to give him time to get better, but I'm not seeing how this is so much better than what Trey was giving us. Bless you on Austin, nothing. Trey Brown, nothing. Marquise Blair didn't play a whole heck of a lot. He got targeted once, and I think he allowed the one completion. And it was for, let's take a look here, 7 yards. So, yeah, not much to say there. Ugo Amadi got targeted, let's take a look here, twice, and I think he gave up both completions for, let's check the edit history, 15 yards. And yeah, other than that, everything pretty stable there. Okay, now we move to safeties, and they tried to sneak one through on me this week with Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams was targeted, I believe, 6 times against the 49ers and allowed one completion for like 6 yards. They tried to stick him with the 76-yard touchdown pass to Debo. In fact, PFR is doing something this year that I really don't like, where if they don't know who is to blame on a coverage bust, they just give it to all the players who were in the area. I think this is a clear mistake, and being somebody who actually follows this stuff and who knows that it was probably almost certainly Sidney Jones, I took that play away from Jamal, and I'm going to go ahead and give it to Sidney. So let's just go ahead and do that right now. Sorry, Sidney, but the truth, let truth happen, let truth be exposed, though the heavens may fall, or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, Jamal bounced back. He did not play very good in coverage against the Vikings, but he played really well in coverage against the Niners. Like I said, one completion on 6 attempts for like 6 or 7 yards. QB rating allowed 74.4. I know that there are some people out there who think that Jamal is responsible for that touchdown, but I don't see it. But if you do, then adjust your scorecards at home accordingly. Quandre Diggs had a better game. He had an interception, but he did get targeted 4 times against the Niners. He only allowed one completion, though, so that's a big step in the right direction. And, yeah, there was a little bit of a clerical error last week. He was actually at 110. So the one completion he gave up was for 5 yards. So he's trending back in the right direction for me. I was really worried about Quandre Diggs, but now he's got the interception under his belt, which was good. And he played really good coverage overall against the Niners. And Ryan Neal, last but not least. I think he's playing more cornerback right now for us because that's where the need is, because we're playing dime. But he got targeted twice, allowed one completion for 7 yards, and QB rating of 58.3. So perfectly fine there, small sample size, but Ryan Neal played well. So that's it for the coverage metrics for the Seahawks game against the 49ers. I'm going to stress that I think we played 2 pretty bad quarterbacks, and that's to credit for a lot of the numbers here. But I will say that I think everybody except for, I guess, Sidney Jones played well, and Sidney Jones does have some valid excuses. It is his first game with this team. I'm going to give him some slack. I'm going to give him some time to get better and see where he is in maybe a month. But at the same time, I think we have to call a spade when we're looking at a game where your cornerback gives up 121 yards and 2 touchdowns in coverage and say that he's got work to do. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks. Let me know what you think down below.